Hey everybody, welcome to day 25 of Gratitude Yoga Challenge. My name is Prema, and today it's unlocking blessings. So if you do have a strap or a belt or even a long scarf, bring that. And if you have a block, a yoga block, or a thick book, bring that. If you don't have those things, that's okay, we'll still get by. I'll meet you on the mat. Day 25, unlock blessings. So today I invite you to open your heart with that beautiful key. The beautiful key that is always with us, always waiting for us to turn and unlock the blessings that are always with us in the door of our heart. And often when I count my blessings, I also think of the blessings that I cannot see. I think of my grandmother who had 8 children and was so brave and so courageous. And from her, I learned so much from. I think of so many things that never happen because of the unseen protection and blessings. I mean, there's so much we see that does happen and we deal with that. But there's so much that doesn't happen that we're so protected from. So let's open up our hands, opening our hearts, bring our hands in front of our hearts. And close your eyes and just take a moment to acknowledge some of the unseen blessings in your life. To allow them to trickle up from your heart. It might be some things that you never thought of before. And we'll open with one Om. Take a deep breath in. Softly bowing the head towards your heart, acknowledging all of those unseen blessings in your life. And we'll open our eyes. So we're going to begin on all fours. We're going to focus on some balancing postures today and some standing postures. So let's walk our hands out a little in front of the shoulders. And we're going to do a couple of cat and cow. So let's inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, pulling navel in, chin in, expanding in the whole back body. Inhaling and exhaling. So do a couple of rounds mindfully. First the breath, and then the body follows. On the next exhale, let the hips come to your heels, come to a child pose. Let the hips be heavy on the heels. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Allowing yourself to become more and more present in this moment. The beautiful poem, I hope not for more things in another time and place, but look and listen more deeply to this place. Through appreciation and presence, peace becomes my treasure. Joy becomes my nature. Being here and now becomes my blessings. Being here and now with a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and rise up. So let's bring our knees together, bring the hips back to the heels, arms up and back. And let's roll over onto our toes, opening the fronts of the ankles. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. When we do standing postures and balancing postures, it all starts at the feet. The feet are our foundation. So opening up heels and toes here will help with our balance and foundation. Now let's come back to all fours. Make knees as wide as the hips. We're going to walk our hands out a little past the shoulders, plant the fingers into the earth. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. And when I teach downward facing dog, I like for us to have a longer stance than usual. When you have a shorter stance, which means your hands are right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips, when you come up to a downward facing dog, you have a lot more pressure on your wrist and there is a sharper angle. So when you walk your hands out a little more in front of the shoulders here, and you claw the mat, that helps to take pressure out of the wrists. And when you walk your knees a little longer than your hips, that will help us to have a longer stance, also helps with more length in our spine, less pressure in the wrists. There's a lot of benefits. So let's inhale and soften the space in between the shoulder blades. Now draw the shoulders up by the ears. Lift the chin. Stick the hips up, make that dip in the lower back here, and then we'll come up to our downward facing dog. So we're going to come up on the toes. Make your feet just a little wider than the hips here. Lift your chin and gaze in between your hands. I'm going through this because so many people tell me they can't do downward facing dog because of wrist pain. So if you do it this way, hopefully this will help with your wrist pain. So lifting your chin, now claw the earth. Push your hands into the mat as if you're trying to pull it away from you. Lengthen through your spine and bring your head in between your arms and just let the head hang here. So now you have length in your arms, hands are pushing into the earth, and you should not have a sharp angle in your wrists. So hopefully you're pushing the weight back and taking pressure off the wrists. And now begin to lower the heels, pressing the tops of the thighs back. Now, because we have a longer downward facing dog, if your heels usually come to the earth, they're probably not going to come to the earth here. And that's not the point. We want to create length in the spine. And we're opening up the backs of the legs all the way down to the Achilles heels. This helps with so much. It helps with helps for runners with tight hamstrings. This helps to strengthen our core. So take a couple of breaths here. Now lift up the heels, come to your toes, and let the heels fall over to the right side, shifting your weight over to the right. Now press your hands firmly into the earth to create that stability in the upper body. Now lift the toes up and bring your heels to the other side. Press hands into the earth for stability, shifting the weight over to the left and come back. Wonderful. So we're going to take the right foot and bring it in between, right outside of your right hand. So you don't want it in between your hands. You want it on the outside of the right hand here. Drop the back heel like in a warrior pose. Walk the hands forward. Press the hands into the earth like you would in downward facing dog. Now claw the earth, press the hands away from you, lengthening
away. Head comes in between the arms, sticking the hips out. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe you can sink a little bit more into the right hip. Pushing hands away, creating a nice length in the spine. Now feel the feet firmly rooted on the earth and breathe. Deep inhale, long exhale. And let's come up. Walk the hands back towards your right foot. I'm going to pivot on the back toes here. Drop the back knee. So now take your left hand and walk it away so it's a little wider than your left shoulder. My hand is actually off of the mat. Take your right hand to your right knee. Push your right hand into your right knee. Dropping your pelvis here. Inhale. Lengthening through the spine, lifting the heart. You can lift the chin a little bit if you like and gaze upwards. If that's too much on your neck, you can keep the chin towards your chest. So try to draw your right shoulder up and back as you open up in the heart a little more and pushing your hand away on the right thigh. So deep opening and twist. Wonderful. Let's come back. So bring your hands back inside of your right foot. So you're going to take your left knee and bring it forward, slide it forward underneath your left. So your left knee is now under your hip. Okay? Good. I see everybody making adjustments. And so now we have, and your right foot here, your right heel is under your right knee. So we have a couple options. You could stay here. If you have a block or a book, you could place your elbows on it if you like. Or you can bring your elbows to the earth. Whatever is the best option for you. Whatever is the best option for you. You can stay up on your hands, you can come up, or you can come down on your elbows. We'll stay here for another 2 breaths. I see some of you are getting deeper into your postures. It's wonderful to see how the body is opening up and freeing up. Okay, press hands into the earth. So you're going to take the left hand onto the earth and just do a nice twist and expand out from the heart out through the top fingertips. Fabulous. Take the hands to the earth. Take the knees. And we're going to come back to a child pose for just a breath. And then inhale, come forward. And we're going to come to the earth. Take your hands behind you for Shalabhasana. Interlace fingers. Press the hands into the sacrum. Inhale, shoulders up and back. Lengthen through the spine. So you're going to press the pelvis into the earth as you lengthen through your spine. This is your pelvis. If you can lift the legs and point the toes. If you can extend the hands back, extend the hands back. Beautiful. Release. Push back to puppy pose. A breath. Stretch the hips back. Inhale, rise up to all fours. So we're going to take the long stance again, hands in front of the shoulders, knees back behind the hips. We'll come up to another downward facing dog. If that's too much for you, you can stay on all fours and then go into our forward lunge. Root hands into the earth, rise up. Heels coming towards the earth, tops of the thighs pressing back as you press hands into the earth, lengthening through the spine, head dropping in between the arms. Take a breath. Inhale, we're going to take the left foot forward, outside of our left hand. Walk the hands over towards the right. And just like in downward facing dog, claw the earth and press the hands into the floor and lengthen through your spine. Drop the back heel down to the earth. Pull the hips back. Head comes in between the arms. So nice strong arms as you push the earth away from you. Strong arms, good. So walk your hands back, pivot on the back toes here. I'm going to drop the knee. So press your right hand into the earth. And if it's too much on your wrist, walk it forward a little bit. Claw the earth. So know when you take out that, when you don't have a sharp, like a 90-degree angle here, that will help release pressure in the wrist. Now claw the hand. Press your left hand into your left thigh, and let's roll the right shoulder and left shoulder back. Open in the heart. Soften the hips down. And you can extend the head back and look upwards if that's okay with your neck, or keep your chin to your chest. We'll stay here for another couple breaths. And come back. So now we're going to walk our left foot in. So the left heel is underneath the knee. And then slide your right knee in so that the back knee is in alignment with your hip. Hands, either we come forward like this, or you come to your elbows, or you can even place it on top of a block if you like. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Deep inhale and a long exhale, softening into our posture. Softening into the moment. Press hands into the earth and we'll come up. So you can either come down to the earth from your knees or come into the plank to stretch the legs back and then lower down to the earth, whoever is the best for you. So take a breath here. Deep inhale, long exhale. So you're going to take the hands behind again, interlace the fingers, draw shoulders up and back. Extend the hands out. Lift the torso and then lift the legs. Strengthening our core, strengthening our back muscles. Release the hands. Let's press them into the earth. Come back to a puppy pose. For a breath. Inhale, all fours. Step the right foot forward, left foot forward. Feet are about inner hip width apart. Going to take your hands to your hips, press feet into the earth, and rise up. Inhale, hands up overhead. Bring hands in front of your heart. Connect to your stillness, connect to your strength by pressing feet into the earth. Hug your muscle the bone above the knees. Draw tailbone down, pull abdominal muscles in, lift the heart, shoulders up and back. And connect to your breath. Inhale, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back again, drawing elbows towards each other or opening up in the shoulders here. Drawing tailbone down, lengthening up to the spine. So if it's okay on your neck, you can gaze upwards and go into a little more upper back bend here. And if you can release the hands, straighten the arms. And now we're going to come forward for a forward fold. You can walk your feet out a little wider. Forward fold. If your arms can be straight, that's fine, or you can still have them at your sacrum here. Deep inhale, long exhale, softening forward. Release the hands to the mat. Bend the knees, hands to the hips, and rise up. Feet inner hip width apart, hands in front of your heart.
Connect to your stillness. You can close your eyes if you like for a couple seconds, or you can keep the eyes soft, drawing your attention inward, drawing your gaze inward. The breath, drawing your awareness deeper inside. So maintaining this inward gaze, we're going to let our eyes be soft as we open them softly. We're going to come into some standing postures. So rooting the left leg into the earth, the left foot into the earth. Lift the kneecaps as you hug your thigh muscles. So you're shifting your weight over to your left, bend your right knee. Now bring the left hip in. Don't let it pop out. Bring it in. Now draw your tailbone down, and then we want to counterbalance that with pulling the belly in to keep stability here. Beautiful. Hands to your hips. Shoulders up and back. So maintaining that soft gaze coming from inside out. You're going to lift your right leg and place it either on the top of the thigh, or you can place it lower on the calf. Press foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. Find your stability. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And once you have that connection, if you like, you could bring your hands overhead. Opening the heart out through the fingertips. And let's come back. Anjali Mudra in front of our heart. Release the leg. Come back to stillness. So if you fall out, come back in. No judgment. It's normal to wobble. That's just normal. We're strengthening our muscles. It's also very strengthening for our core and our nervous system. And you'll notice it's also very strengthening for our focus, our mind. It's a great posture to teach young children to help with their focus. So now we'll bring our awareness to our right leg. So bend the left knee, pull this right hip in, root the right foot into the earth, hug the muscles to bone as you pull up the kneecap, as you tighten the thigh muscles. Now I'm going to take the left leg, and you might press it inside of the thigh, or you might have it down by the calf, whatever is best for you today. Thigh and foot press into each other and hug to the midline. Bring your hands in front of your heart, gazing from inside out. Find your stillness. Bring hands up overhead. And then we'll come down, connecting to our stillness. And take both feet onto the earth. Closing your eyes for a moment, connecting with the breath. Notice how the mind clears. So let's open up our eyes and our legs. Pull the legs apart so they're about the same length as the arms. Feet are facing forward, hands to the hips. Gonna bow forward, hinge from the hips. If you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. Take the hands to the earth. So let's make a little bend at our knees right now. Create a dip in the lower back. Lengthen forward, lift the chin. Inhale, exhale, begin to bow forward from the hips towards the floor. Maybe the top of the head comes to the floor, just the hands. And then begin to press the legs straight as you press the heels into the earth away from each other. Take a couple of breaths here. Next, inhale, lengthen through the spine. And we're going to walk our hands towards the front of our mat. Shift the feet. Bring the right foot back. So you can stay in plank here or come down to your knees as we lower down to the earth. Take a breath here.
Deep inhale, long exhale. We're going to draw our shoulders up and back for cobra. Root the hands into the earth. Hug elbows to the side body. Push back to a puppy pose. Come to a downward facing dog if you like, or you can stay in puppy pose. Inhale, right leg up. Bend the top knee. So you can do this on all fours or in downward facing dog. Keep the arms strong and stable as you press the hands into the earth. Lengthen through the spine, drawing your top knee towards the ceiling here. Beautiful. Bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop the back knee. Inhale, hands to the top of your thigh. Roll shoulders up and back. So let your hips be a little heavy here in going towards the earth. But at the same time, you want to have your back knee, front heel pulling towards each other for stability and strength. As your back knee, heel pull towards each other, you should feel an engagement here in the core. So once you have that stability, you can place hands, keep hands on the thigh, or bring your arms up overhead. From the heart out through the fingertips, expand out. If you want to bring the head back, bring the head back. Release the hands, and we'll come back to a downward facing dog, or you can come to a puppy pose. Left foot forward, drop the back knee, hands to the top of your thigh. Now the front heel and the back knee hug towards each other to create stability. And then you can drop a little deeper in your hips. Place your hand on your thighs, roll shoulders up and back. So you could stay here, or you can extend the arms up overhead. From the heart out through the fingertips, expand out. So much gratitude for all the blessings in our life. Just feel the blessings moving out from your heart, out through your fingertips. And also receiving those unseen blessings into your heart. And let's release the hands. Let's take the back leg back, and we're going to come on to our backs. So let's hug the knees towards the chest here. Maybe you can clasp your hands to draw knees together. Maybe knees are wide. And close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. Deep inhale, long exhale. Letting your breath draw you inward. Counting your blessings. Place the feet on the mat, knees bent, extend right leg up, clasp hand behind the right leg, and stretch the foot up to the sky. Release that leg to the earth. You can keep it bent or release it all the way down. Let's take the left leg and stretch it up to the sky. Deep inhale, long exhale. Release that leg. You're going to take the right knee, bend it, hook the right toes behind your left leg. Let the knee fall over to the left. Press elbows into the earth, lift the chest, get both shoulders on the earth. You can extend the arms out or bring elbows overhead and grab your elbows. Whatever feels best for you. And gaze over the opposite shoulder for a couple of breaths. And let's come back. Let's do the opposite side. Bend the opposite leg, hook the toes behind the leg. If you like, you can even take your right hand to help the leg over. Press elbows into the earth, lift the chest. Extend the arms out or overhead. Pull the belly in to create a little deeper twist, and we'll stay here for a couple breaths. Come back. Release that leg. I'm going to bend both knees again. So you're going to take the right foot and place it on top of the left knee and let the knees fall over like windshield wipers. Bring the arms overhead. Take the right hand to the left wrist. Now pull on the left wrist gently. The right hand is pulling the left wrist, the arm up and over, and the right foot is pressing on the left knee to open in the left hip, and stay here for a couple of breaths. You should feel a nice big stretch in the whole left side of the body, from your knee all the way up to your fingertips. And release. We're going to do the other side. Shift hips back to center. Take the left heel, the foot, and press it, place it on top, right on the outside of your right thigh. Let the legs fall over like windshield wipers. So let's first place the elbows on the earth. Lift the chest. Try to get shoulders more on the earth if possible. Extend the arms up. Left hand takes the right wrist now. And then lengthen to the whole right side as you pull the right hand over. Maybe just let the head relax where it's going to fall. As the left foot presses on your right thigh, you create a stretch in the hips and the thighs. As the hand pulls, you create a beautiful stretch from the hips all the way through the side body, through your hand. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Deep inhale, long exhale, softening, going deeper into the pose. Exhaling, releasing tension. And let go. And let's come back. Extend the legs out, let them fall to the side. We're going to come to our Shavasana. Open up the chest, shoulders roll up and back. Palms open, let the arms be heavy, let the entire body be relaxed. We'll stay here for another minute. The next breath, coming back to the surface. Bend the knees, roll over to one side, and we'll meet in a seated posture for just a couple of minutes of meditation.
And once you're seated, feel rooted on the earth. Inhale, lengthen through the spine to the crown of the head. Let hands be heavy and relaxed on the thighs or in your lap. Bringing your awareness to your breath coming in and out. And feel the shoulders soften down. The skin of the face is soft. The eyes are soft. Bringing your awareness to the inhale and the exhale. Envision a door in front of your heart. And there is a beautiful spiral staircase going down from your mind, connecting to your heart. So with each breath, take a step further down this beautiful staircase until you are in front of the door of your heart. Taking out your key, unlocking your door, stepping inside, and taking a comfortable seat inside your heart. And inside are so many blessings. Too many to count. I'm sitting here in our infinite love and gratitude for our blessings. We'll stay here for another minute. Bringing your awareness to the inhale and the exhale. Coming back to the surface. walking up our beautiful stairs, opening up our hands, and bringing them back in front of our heart into Anjali Mudra. And we'll close with one Om. Take a deep breath in. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you, everybody, for the blessing of you. Day 25. We're almost there. 6 more days left. I used to be a long distance runner, and the beginning was always tough. And I remember getting about halfway there. I was like, mentally, I was like, okay. I'd start feeling more confident. And then I would get into this stride where all of a sudden it would become effortless and this flow. And yeah, there was still my will there having to make me go forward, but there was this flow that would happen. And then getting towards the end, it would get a little tougher, but then I would put everything into it and always completed. And it was such a great feeling to put my mind to something. And it didn't matter how fast or slow. I didn't do it to compete. I just loved it. So I encourage you, your own pace, ever fast or slow, you go. And just take, it's a class a step at a time. So I appreciate you being here. I honor you for being here. Have a wonderful day or evening.